going on? It's your boy Wally, aka Mr. Music is My Business, live from Smoky Studio, here live on Urban Grind Radio. My name is Wally Lockhart III. My co-host got a whole conversation. Introduce yourself and let us know what you got going on.
He just prayed for protection against
you. He's
you.
sitting next to you.
That's crazy.
No, it wasn't me. It wasn't me.
It's you.
That's all right.
I do this before every interview.
Is there something you're going through I need to know about?
Before every video or interview, I do this.
Well, I'm flattered.
That's the first time I've seen that.
Yeah.
Let them know who we're talking to.
Anyways, hi guys. It's Puerto Rican Not Creative. You already know what it is. You create, I design. What's up? What's up?
Man, y'all already know what it is. It's Top Boy Zello, aka SMG Zello, the Talk a Lot artist. And we back, man.
And today we're talking about breaking barriers and how to stand out in a crowded music industry. And you can kind of apply it probably to modeling or entertainment in general, how to stand out, right? And why does this matter? Because the industry is really saturated. We agree, right?
Right.
Every day there's a new model, there's a new artist, a new producer, videographer, podcaster, right?
You're always striving to look for the best.
Right, not just the best, but there's millions of people that are uploading stuff, uploading music, podcasts, and talent alone does not guarantee success. We agree?
No,
Yes.
most definitely.
We agree. So you need a strategy, you need to be creative, and you need to be persistent. And what are we covering today, Athena?
So today we're gonna go over how to develop a unique sound, how to build and promote a personal brand, how to network and form relationships within the industry, networking. And how consistency and perseverance are crucial for the long-term development and accomplishment for your goal.
So let's talk about that. What do you guys, what does consistency and perseverance mean to you?
Consistency is meaning whatever business-wise on the side you got going on, you make sure you stay on top of it, and you make sure it's like rejuvenated work over and over and over again. You got to make sure you stay on top of it and you keep, developing what you got going on, whether it's music, whether it's with beats, whether it's with anything. You can apply it to anything. So stay consistent is the biggest. That's dealing with consistency. When you staying consistent and you continuously, put out and push out the product.
It's like eating. We do it every day, right? We don't even think about it. Promotion, your branding, your perseverance needs to be the same way. It should be every day. It should not even, it's an extension of you, right? Mm-hmm. So we're talking about consistency. Now, perseverance is something that I see a lot of people where they lose it at. This is where they get upset. They don't feel like people are recognized for their contributions, for their talents. Big deal. They did it for themselves. They went for themselves. Sometimes it has a big impact. Sometimes it doesn't, right? So
the main thing is to just keep going. Because a lot of things that's gonna hold you back. It's gonna be a lot of cons that come with everything. So you just gotta look for the pros that come with it instead of looking at the cons. Because there's gonna be a lot of those.
It's work.
Definitely.
Like
anything
great, doesn't it take work?
Definitely.
Like if you want to be the best or if you want to stand out, doesn't that mean like there's some work involved?
Some people, and I used to be one of them people who feel like you shouldn't lose. You're gonna take a lot of L's.
I mean, well, tell me
What is
this.
that? Like you get like 1,000 no's before you get that one yeah?
Most definitely. That's why I'm leaning more towards it.
Well, why is it a loss? Why do you see it as a loss? Because
mainly, it's probably not a loss at the end of the day because you still get XP out of it. You still get experience.
it's
so,
an
I don't
expensive
take L's. I take
education,
lessons.
right? It's an expensive education. It's kind of like paying your dues, right? So I don't really think you lost. You didn't lose anything.
Right.
Just didn't go the way you pictured it.
You just learn how not to move.
But that's just how you look at it when you're not paying attention to what you got.
Absolutely, and I've seen that. I think it's a generational thing. A lot of people have entitlement. I've seen it as like the younger generations. They feel they should get something, or it's like they can use a cheat code and get there. If it's artificial streaming or clout chasing, stuff like that. But it doesn't really work like that because there's so many different people out there doing something. And they expect it to take off right away. Sometimes it's gonna take a little while to get going. Some people are lucky, right? We think they're lucky and we think it happened right away. But if you were to ask that person, it didn't happen overnight, right?
Yeah.
It didn't happen overnight.
If it did, they wouldn't be able to make movies about it.
That's it, right? It's part of your story.
Most definitely.
So make sure you stay tuned for more tips and strategies. Make sure they visit us at UrbanGrindTV.com and follow us at UrbanGrindTV on all social media. Hit up the YouTube. The first part of the segment that we were mentioning is crafted a unique sound.
Definitely. That's very important.
In every artist is influenced by others, right? We all kind of see something growing up that influences, motivates us. Maybe it's something that we don't like, and we're like, man, I'd do it like this, right?
Right.
But what people do is they blend genres, they create a sound, right? And that's important because how else are you gonna stand out if you sound like everybody else or if you look like everybody else, right? So we got some how-tos here, and the first thing was to analyze your influences. Find out what you love about music or fashion or modeling, and what makes those people unique. What is something that you remember about that person that's like, wow, this is what makes him or her the best? They all have something that makes them unique. And the funny thing is that something, a lot of times we look up to them like, oh, she got high cheekbones. She might think that that's not, like, she don't like them, but everyone else is like, man, they would kill for that.
Right.
Or if they have like a thin frame and they're like, oh, thin people want to be bigger. Bigger people want to be smaller, right? But it's like what they have that makes them unique, those God-given talents, and sometimes they got to work for them, right? Another thing we want to say is experiment with different genres, different instruments, different production techniques, right? And the same thing is modeling, different looks,
Right.
different styles, right? Don't box yourself in because then you're grouped with everybody else. If you're diverse, it opens things up.
Stay away from certain categories if you don't want to be grouped in with those.
Yeah.
Don't
Like
force
that.
it. Don't force it, but just make sure you just stand out. It don't have to be forced. You see what I'm saying? Because most of the time people be like, yeah, I want to be different. I want to be different, but they try so hard to be different that they're like discolored or disorientated. You can't really see what their message is because it's so like wild and you see what I'm saying? But most of the time, just be yourself. That's how you gonna get the unique out of it. Be yourself.
Right.
Being organic.
Most definitely.
Right. Step 3 was record multiple versions of your songs to test different styles, different sounds. So I've heard people do, different remixes, different flows, different styles. They'll send them out to a handful of people they like and say, hey, what do you think about this? Before they release it. Same thing with a model, maybe shooting a few different styles and asking a few creative directors, photographers, like, hey, what do you think of this? How does this look? Is this something that would look good for me and my style? How do you know unless you're gonna try it, right?
Right.
The first time I got on the mic, like 20 years ago, 21 years ago, I was like, I don't like my voice. And I think most people are like, I don't like their voice. They're not used to hearing yourself.
I don't care.
But that was my thing, right? Some people don't care. That's awesome. I did. But it was like, how do you know unless you try it? And then out of necessity, like, yo, I got to do this. This is what I want to do. You get settled with it and you make it your own. It's yours. And then you realize the power of that voice, right? So creating different versions, testing different markets with different people, seeing what they like, and sharing the clips. Sometimes people put stuff on SoundCloud, YouTube. Is SoundCloud still a thing? Is people still using SoundCloud?
Yeah, it's a
yeah.
lot of SoundCloud rappers still trying to blow and stuff like that, still coming up and stuff like that. It's a lot of them that's still going crazy, yeah. It got some, yeah.
When's the last time you put some music on SoundCloud?
I mean, I think I dropped a minute ago on SoundCloud. It wasn't
Sinister's
like
fact
What the
checking.
heck is
But
a
it wasn't
minute
that.
ago?
There's a lot of,
It
it's a
wasn't-
whole long, the answer
It's
got
been a
longer
minute
and
ago,
longer.
but that's only because I upgraded to, you see what I'm saying, to a different market level. You see what I'm saying? But most people still got that SoundCloud fan base. I never had a SoundCloud fan base, so I didn't need to upload.
Why not?
SoundCloud.
Maybe it's opportunity to develop it.
It most definitely is, but I went straight into YouTube, and it was just like, I went straight into YouTube and Apple Music and iTunes.
What's your biggest following on what platform? Do you know?
You know what? I didn't pay attention to that, but I think
This comes up later in the conversation.
Well, I think it's I think my biggest following is
Not just following, but I guess engagement. So you can
Engagement.
have big numbers, right? And
Most
then you
definitely.
don't have the engagement.
My biggest thing, Facebook. Facebook got my biggest engagements, my biggest, like my most viewed videos, clips, my most viewed snippets and stuff like that.
Right, because that's how we're talking about is creating that sound, right? And not only, so if you have a sound, you need an audience. If you have photos or music, you need people to see them in order for them to be like, this is great, I want to see it again. So reaching the audience is a big thing. I think that's something where we fall short. I know I did early in my career. I was like just making stuff, and I think that's great. Create what you love and get it out there so you're not worried about it. But once you like have been doing it for some time, and you're like, you know what, I'm gonna be more specific. I want to make sure that what I'm creating something for people that, like, I know who my audience is, and more importantly, I know how to reach them. And we did, shout out to Ismail Rosa, we did the show this past August 10th at DISTRO Music Hall. We had a packed house, over 400 people in the building. We presented him with
Shout out Ismail.
Yeah, we presented him with
crazy.
his plaque for number 11 on the iTunes. And so I had not worked salsa like before. That's not my main genre, right? So we manage him through Urban Grind Management, and so I was like, all right, how do I? He's known, but he hasn't been out in 30 years.
Right.
So like 30 years, people. It was the 30th anniversary of his album Velvet Ami, which is available everywhere, iTunes, Spotify, and we released it through UrbanGrindTV Distro. Right. But it was like, all right, so I don't know where these people been 30 years ago. There wasn't social media 30 years ago. There wasn't like, there was like emails, but it wasn't a big thing the way it is now. So I knew that demographically his audience was 55 and over, and it was a certain thing. So it was the biggest thing working on this project. And shout out to Randy that helped collab, and Mikey O is reaching his audience, not people that just say, oh, I love salsa, but people that go out and buy tickets and go support events. So that was the main thing, is we had to experiment with a lot of stuff, contacting media, partnering with people, utilizing mailing lists. We were going out to clubs, events, meeting promoters. People were like,
putting in the networking.
Yeah, like 2-3 people like talked it up and dropped the ball, didn't do anything. And we were creative, and we had a lot of perseverance, because it was like, oh man, this guy seemed real promising, and he talked it up. He was gonna do all these things, and then when you asked him like, hey, are we ready? Like a lot of people, what do? They drop the ball.
Yeah.
Like, and the conversation be like, they don't even know what you're talking about. Like, yo, well, didn't we have this whole conversation about what? And the thing is, I always ask like, hey, what can you do? So it wasn't necessarily what I needed, but he said, this is what I offer, and this is what I would like to do and collaborate with you. So there was a lot of stuff that we ran into, because it was a new genre, and it was a challenge to get 400 people in the building, get an audience for Ismail and his orchestra and his 30th anniversary of his album. But I learned a lot through it, because it was a different genre, and those people are out there. They do go out. There's a way to reach them, but you have to like hit the ground. You got to go to events and clubs and venues, and you got to give tickets away. We sold a ton of tickets, but we did a promo giveaway. So we went to people that like go out. We go to events and say, Joe, I want to give you a set of tickets, and do you know anybody that would like to go? And some people were like, you know what, I could give out some tickets for you. And it was about getting people in the building to like fellowship and that loved it. We did great. Like, we sold a ton of merchandise and other opportunities. So salsa is not my thing. And we were able, through a teamwork, not me, and learn a lot. We were able to put over 400 people in a building on a Saturday night with a nice ticket price and a dress code. Like, you had to be dressy to get in there.
Yeah, no, I seen the clips.
Right. So
I seen the clips.
I'm just saying, when you're able to do that, that's creativity, that's perseverance.
Yeah.
And when it talks about like a unique sound and building a brand, and breaking barriers, this is a guy that's not been out in 30 years. And we were able to do that and revive something. And granted, we did this in probably like 6 weeks. 5 to 6 weeks. So that is something that I just want to shout out the whole team for. But also, it applies to that, right? It applies to knowing your audience, right? Trying something new, and then go and say, look, let me try and see where I feel. There was a lot of no's before we got the yeses. And We didn't know it was gonna be great. Like I knew it was gonna be great. We didn't know it was gonna be greater, and probably to the week of. And before that there was like a good spike in stuff, and then things got consistent, like ticket sales, and then it was a hit again. And at 8 o'clock we cracked the doors, and there was a line outside. I got the footage. I gotta drop it. A line outside. People were lined up to go into the venue. So I just think that's awesome, and I want that for any artist that we manage, any artist that we work with, anybody that we collaborate with, because that is success, and being able to bring people out like that is just incredible. So we're just talking about experimenting with versions, right? Being consistent, persevering, being creative, and like the whole Urban Grind TV team was there. I think that's why it applies, right? We were there, we shot it, we produced it, we filmed it, like live streamed it. We did everything pretty much across the board, and you see it's like a big team effort. We had a killer merch table, which we'll probably do some show stuff on later, because I learned a lot from that as well. So I had something in here, like it says a pro tip, was like working with producers, people that challenge you creatively. Am I alive with, like, we all know some people, we all know the same people. Some of those people are very talented, but they are in a box and they got a ceiling on them because they only work with the same people. They only perform with the same people. Yeah. And they stay in it, and they just stay around people that are like, hey man, you did great. Yeah, you're awesome. Oh girl, you look good. Definitely. And they don't open up any new networks. They don't tear down any new doors.
But are hoping for all of that to hit them without them.
To come to them, right? Yeah. But they don't do any of that stuff. They don't try anything new. So it's like people that are creative, they go on the limb. You know what? Most times you're not going to be successful, but you got to be okay with that. You got to be okay with like not succeeding on everything. And I had a thing about Post Malone. Post Malone he had hip hop, he's been rock, he does pop, and now the guy's doing country. He does everything. He didn't like stay in one box, and for a million reasons you could say why he would be accepted in multiple genres. But at the end of the day, like, those are all him, right? Those are like his influences. And once you get in, like, you find something that people love, once you get like their ear, then you can be creative. Then you can like experiment with stuff, right?
Branch out from your norm.
Branch out. But when you first get on, you gotta like be consistent, and you can't just switch it too early because you may lose people, right? So that's the balance, right?
Yeah.
That's like the delicate balance, man. So I want to make sure people visit UrbanGrindTV.com for more music industry insights. Now we're going to talk about why branding matters. Athena, why does branding matter?
Branding, honestly, branding, it could go across the board for anybody in the industry, whether it's like modeling or you being a music artist or even on the business side. When you're going ahead and presenting yourself to people, what is the first thing you want them to see? It should always be like the question that you want to ask in the back of your head when you go ahead and you meet anybody new, when you go ahead and like offer a business deal, or you're proposing a business deal, or you're even just trying to go ahead and start networking. It's like, what's the first thing do you want them to know about you?
How about also, what do you want them to remember about you? Mm-hmm. Because you're going to make a judgment probably initially upon meeting someone, but what are they going to remember about you? But go ahead. I just thought that was important. We leave impressions.
Mm-hmm. And at that, like, one thing I was always taught is your name holds just as much weight as your word does. They kind of go hand in hand, and those are the only two things that you really have in life, is your name and your word. So if your word don't mean nothing, your name don't either at that point. And that's where you want to go ahead and always keep that in mind too, honestly. And you really do want to keep that in mind by like identifying like 3 word that define your like persona as like not like an artist, or defines you as a business.
What's your 3 words?
For me?
Yeah. Just put her on the spot right now.
Wow. Okay.
I'm gonna ask you too, Zello.
Why does he get more time? I was in the middle of
We're
talking.
gonna
Why do you
answer
get to interrupt
together.
me?
3,
Hold on a second.
2,
When I interrupt people, like it's a problem. But when
No,
you're
you brought it up. So
no, I did not bring it up.
what's a few things you would? How would you define yourself?
I was reading off your steps.
Since you mentioned it,
Anyways, 3 things that define me is 1, I'm very like blunt. 2, I'm very.
I would have put that on a resume as the first one.
Definitely, you want to
Would've been
understand that
blunt.
you're a person
How
that's
about
transparent.
honest? How about honest?
Okay, transparent.
That's a nice
How
way
about
to say it.
transparent?
Transparent doesn't sound friendly though.
It doesn't. I don't care.
It made the fine. Well, exactly. Well, this is the
But
networking
what is that?
part.
What does that matter?
Because people
No,
hire
you don't want to look at. Don't.
she's honest.
Here's the thing that I want to keep everybody in the back of their heads too. Don't introduce people to a personality you can't maintain.
Well, how about this?
If I can't maintain the fact that I'm just honest, you could be honest and still be nice. No, I'm transparent.
Honesty is being transparent. We're talking about business.
I have an example,
Most
but it's a
definitely.
real bad one. You feel me? Anyways, if you go up to a man and say, "Hey, is your barber feeling okay?" Versus, "Hey, I think your barber slightly missed the spot." Versus, "Yo, your lining is kind of fucked right now." Those, which one would you rather hear first?
It's honest, but it's also good, right? So you
Yeah,
can be honest.
that's why I
but-
said you could be honest and be nice. I'm
Well, if you're gonna
transparent.
hire 2 people and one
Being
said
transparent doesn't
and
hold
one
me
said
liable
honest,
to being
which
nice.
one are you gonna hire? Which one do you hire? Sinister. If you had 2 people, one was honest.
You're gonna want to go ahead and
one
hire the one
transparent.
that you understand is gonna make the business decisions at the end of the day, regardless
Honest
of somebody's
or
feelings.
transparent though, if they were to fall in one of those 2 things. The likable, but which one's gonna be more likable? An honest
Ain't
person
nobody told you to put me
or
as
a
the face of the company.
transparent person.
Okay, all you
what
gotta
if-
do is put me behind the business aspect.
What if you
of
meet
decisions.
somebody in the
got
Brex
you.
Mountains and you're like, you don't want them to be transparent. You want to be.
Well, then you gotta
honest.
send me in, would
You
you?
want to tell them like, hey, your shirt looks nice today. That's an honest statement, but it's
Okay.
all right. Right, because we're talking about branding.
Most definitely.
Right, because this is networking.
Okay, so in terms of business aspects, right?
It's another way of being professional.
It's all business.
Okay, so in terms of business aspects, let's put in the business aspect, right? Let's say like your company is down 35%. You also have a few people that have quit that you haven't found replacements for yet. You also have
This is very specific.
you know,
but
you also okay, but like these are like random scenarios. You're also dealing with a personal situation at home, and then you're also like you're dealing like with like work stress, and you're feeling like you're about to like crash out, right? Nobody like you have to think about it. Nobody understands what you're going through.
They don't care.
They
It's
don't
not
care.
their job to care.
I wasn't trying to say that. I was trying to be nice
But-
in my delivery. Okay? You know what? I'm going to be transparent. Yeah, nobody cares. Nobody really cares. So you want everybody to be as transparent as possible to make sure that all.
No, I said
like,
I was on the
the
honesty
lines-
side, not the transparent.
No, yeah, I said I was on transparency. You want everybody to be transparent because transparent doesn't waste time.
You could be transparent. Say
you
you're-
could be
you're-
blunt. You could be
forgot
blunt. You could be transparent. You could be like, "Hey, I understand you're going through something, but this still needs to get done." That's not being nice. That's being transparent. It's not even like there is no. That's like also
Honesty and being transparent have nothing to do with being nice.
no. But you can when you go ahead. You're the one that said that transparency is kind of reflective of like being mean. Who said that?
No, I never
transparent-
said it. I never connected emotion with it. I said
Oh,
I would rather have honesty.
we're on live. We're rewinding this.
I want to hear. I said
Wait a
I'd rather
minute.
have honesty as
No,
opposed to
did you not
transparency.
say that a
But we're talking
transparent
about
person?
being
It kind of sounds
professional.
more mean.
Yes,
Oh.
that is not my feelings about it. It's about being professional. It's not as
I
professional.
would rather have somebody that's
That's
more
why I think I'll
transparent.
probably go.
But we're
like-
talking about like work. We're talking about building a brand.
Yeah, you want somebody that's gonna tell you the nitty gritty of the thing.
Okay, how about if you're a model and you get on there and you say I don't like people that like chocolate milk, right? Just something random. You're gonna make people upset that may have been your fan because
If
they disagree
someone
with
asked
you.
me a question and I answered it and I gave
That's
my
being honest.
and I gave my honest answer, but it was the most transparent answer. You're not gonna like it half of the time, anyways. But like I said, what does transparency have anything to do with being mean?
So if you went to a shoot tomorrow, you went to a casting, and you showed up, and the casting
Those
director...
are synonyms. I hope we know we're talking about the same thing.
The casting director says, Athena, how are you doing? How was your day? Are you going to be honest and say, hey, I'm doing great. How's your day? What's your response going to be? Or are you going to say, you know what? I'm bloated. My car didn't work. I lost my gold ring. This is so random, right?
Okay, but that's not being honest.
And my bank account's overdrafted.
If I said I'm doing
that's
good.
being transparent.
Yes, but if I said I'm doing good, that's not being honest either. I'm not doing good. I'm not being honest. If I went ahead and just made up a lie and I went through all that BS.
Like transparent is disclosing too much.
Okay, but that's not being honest by saying I'm all right. I'm not all right. Why would I tell him I'm all right? That's a lie.
because you want to get hired, because you want to get cast for
That's a lie. Why would I say I'm all right when I'm not all right?
Because if you show up to a shoot,
you know what?
And you had a horrible night the day before,
at first I thought we were on the same page
operate.
Because we understood
we're
that
gonna do a good job. No, this is the same page.
But you're saying transparency was in relation to somebody kind of being mean.
If I book an artist,
honesty is in relation to somebody being nice.
I don't care how their day was yesterday. I want a good performance. If I book a model, I don't care if her boyfriend dumped her the day before. I expect my service and my business to be done. I don't care if the engineer came in and he's on his last $50 and his girl's mad at him. Do you care, Sinister? No, I want a service to be delivered.
Okay,
so that's being honest.
And I'm gonna be very transparent and honest and tell you I don't really care about it either unless you let me know what it is. Unless you're paying me to care, I don't care.
Is she getting booked? Is she getting booked? Are you hiring her? Are you
hiring her? My 3 words are.
If you hire me to care about something, I'm gonna care, and that's the job I'm getting paid to do. Do you feel me? However, if my cat just died, I crashed out, I haven't had no sleep off of 5 days of adrenaline, caffeine, and maybe some weed, I don't know. Yeah, I'm gonna let you know. No, I'm not doing great. I'm here though. I'm gonna get the job done. I'm gonna get the job done. All right, and then you're gonna see a whole nother personality come on when the job has to get done.
My professional advice to you is do the opposite.
I'm professional. You're gonna see how I can be honest and transparent with you.
That's not gonna work.
But still get the job done.
For the majority of the people.
Do you see how I'm very honest, very transparent, but still very reliable?
John, what are you gonna do?
You know, you see what that is? Very demure, very mindful.
If somebody told you they're having a bad day, are you gonna care? You're not gonna hire her, right? Yep. Okay, you see who John represents.
John is also a dude.
Yes. So
it's only because it's gonna be based off. It's only because it's gonna be based off to their liking, to what they want to see right there in that moment. So they probably don't. Like you said, they probably don't care at all. Like, they just want to see the work get done. Don't
ask me a question if you don't want the real answer.
But that's why they ask.
They're being professional.
They just
no, y'all are just doing too much. You can be professional without doing all of that.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
No, stop asking me if you don't care.
What's your 3 words?
You can say, hey, how are you?
3 words. I'm gonna go with fair, willing, and determined. Fair because I look at both parties as being, we don't move on to this degree. No, I don't even play Monopoly.
That takes too long.
Definitely takes too long.
You don't got the patience.
But fair is because I'm willing to sit down and hear on both parties' ends. Willing because I'm willing to change my, you see what I'm saying, based on the development of how we see fit to the objective. Willing is I'm willing to see your side of the objective so we can make sure it's getting done. And determined, I'm gonna be determined to get the work done regardless. I don't care what's going on. I'm getting it done regardless. I promise. Like that's how I am though. But fair, willing, and determined. I noticed that's it's easy to maneuver around the board because you don't get yourself stuck into, hey, I'm doing this way and this gotta be this way. No, you get a lot of individuals' outlook and inspiration on top of the objective, so that way you'll be able to make a bigger impact. You see what I'm saying? Instead of like going in with, hey, this gotta be this way for me. You see what I'm saying? Because I'm an artist.
You're
you see what I'm
flexible.
saying? Nah, you gotta be flexible. Most definitely.
Right.
Most definitely. Learned that from you, man.
Yes. But that's what I mean. Like nobody's right or wrong. I don't think that you're wrong.
I didn't
what
say
we did
you were
is,
wrong. I'm
well,
just asking.
all right.
I thought
Well,
we were on the
this
same
applies. We are on the same page. This applies because when you're branding and you're creating like your vision and how you want people to see it, I may feel one way. Your manager may feel one way. Your agent may feel another. A photographer might say, "Hey, this is a good look for you," and you gotta experiment and you gotta try different things. So if you try like telling them like you're having a horrible day and it don't work, then maybe the next one you say, "Hey, I'm doing great. How about yourself?" That's all I'm saying.
When I'm
So,
doing great, how
when
about
I'm
yourself?
doing, all right. I don't know.
Oh, yeah,
I'd be like, I'm
it's
fine.
a big one right here to me.
So
I can do it
I'm
fine.
gonna do my 3 words.
What the doing?
I think loyalty. I'm loyal. That's
Okay.
one of my first ones that I'm really big
That's
on.
big.
I'm passionate about what I do. I have a real passion for this. Like I live and breathe this. This is my thing. And I'm dedicated. And I think with dedication, you can accomplish anything because those 3 things, those 3 traits, being loyal, being authentic, and being dedicated, that helps inspire other people like you guys, right? I'm honored to work with you guys and the team, and John been with me for over a dozen years. Like when you are those things, and like not just because you say it, you say, hey, I want to be, but you are those things, it's a lot easier for people to recognize that and say, you know what, I respect that, and I would like to be around people that are like-minded. Right, because the power of people being loyal, the power of people being authentic, and the power of people being dedicated and working together as a team is unstoppable. And that's why I just feel it's big. That was a good conversation. I don't think it's off. I think it's totally right because you have to be passionate about what you do. You got to look at it different ways. Everyone has their own swag, right? And they might like that. You know, they might love that you're honest. And they might say, oh, I'm having a horrible day too. Like, you know what I mean? And,
yeah.
you know, and that might be your way to connect. So there's nobody's wrong, but I think I just want people.
I ain't never gonna spill the whole business. I'm gonna be like, it could be better. But we good.
What if you got like an ankle monitor? Are you going to show it to them? Are you going to like put it on the table and be like, look?
Because remember what
Nah,
you said. This gonna go back
you
into it.
already
Remember
know
what
what
you
it
said.
is,
It's
gang.
about your branding too.
Yes.
So like you said, when it comes down to it, you know, you gotta show off what you branding. You come to work, so it's like, yeah, they might ask you something silly off the rip. You see what I'm saying? Knowing they probably see your face and know you're not really feeling. But they want to know, like you said, they want to know if you still finna get the work done regardless.
I'm finna get the
how you
work
feeling.
done. Don't play with me. The work finna get done.
Almost
But would
definitely.
you want somebody hungover, like, come in?
Like,
Did I say I was gonna be
DJing?
hungover?
But if you
But that might
was, you
be
gotta
one
be.
of the
And you
things.
said being, you said you get like, what if that's one
Shit,
of the things
I
you
need
gotta?
something to eat.
See?
Oh, done.
Be like, the makeup
done.
artist is here, but she got to eat. You got to order her a pizza or something.
I'm
She
dead.
got the munchies. All right.
I need something to comer.
All right. So step 3 was developing a consistent social media presence, and using a content calendar, and to keep your branding and your message aligned. So content. You guys use content calendars?
What are those?
Okay. So just like we have a schedule, you would have your content calendar would be like, I use February to February because that's what the entertainment industry, mainly the music, runs off of. But you would have a calendar, right? And you would break it down by week. And you say, this day I'm going to drop stories. This day I'm doing behind the scenes. This day I'm doing like coverage. This day I'm going to do a live. And then you just have a calendar. And having a calendar keeps you on point. You can produce 2 or 3 segments and just have them ready and schedule them for release, right? And be like, save you time. And it also allows the people, the viewers, right, the people that are on live to know, like, hey, every Wednesday Athena's on live,
Yeah.
7:30ish. So they have something to anticipate on when do I want to watch it.
Okay.
You know, remember the radio when we were kids? Well, not you guys don't, but me and Sinister, like John definitely does. We wanted to hear a song, we had to wait till it came on the radio. And we didn't know when it was coming on. And it wasn't satellite radio, and it wasn't like a million channels. So you just waited till the song played, where like that was a real thing. So like if
most
people
definitely.
want to follow Athena, they want to see when she's live or Zello, how do they know unless there's some consistency going on? You know, and that was one of the best things about Urban Grind is we've been on like over 15 years. Every Wednesday night, 11 p.m. Comcast, RCN, Wild Cable Channel 25. And consistency, it builds confidence, it builds trust with people, and that people want to be a part of it. So, you know what? I've seen them forever, man. They've been on. Always, just like a store or anywhere you would spend your money or you would patronize.
They've always had the same thing, reliable.
Yes.
Dedicated. They can always be like looked at for like this certain amount of services or this business, whether it's
They're
at
consistent.
this hour or that.
Even if it's a restaurant, right? And the food's good all the time.
You know what? I promise you, I'm a foodie.
Yes.
I'm a foodie, so I will go back.
You're gonna go back.
Restaurant. No matter what time. If you're open 24 hours, even better.
See, she's gonna be on a late night. So on the next one, segment 3, leveraging social media and content creation. Talk to me about it, Zello.
So, social media as a launch pad in today's industry, your social media presence can make or break your career. It's a way to connect directly with fans and industry professionals alike.
Let's talk about that.
Definitely, that's big. Media presence is definitely big because this is what draws the people in. This is what brings them to your table. This is what helps you eat. Because once you show, like, the more you out there, the more they gonna come to your product because they see you and they feel like they know you. Even if they don't know you, just because you out there that much, putting yourself out there that consistent, you giving personal stories, you giving out, you see what I'm saying? Hey, I'm gonna probably be here, y'all can get up with me. You see what I'm saying? Putting yourself out there, being more open and stuff like that, especially on your social media, is big for your presence, so they can get in tune with your product. It's a personal relationship.
Right.
So those are people that are looking for you. And what about people that like just find you?
Even people that just found you, that's what's gonna draw them in. So,
right.
Hey, this guy does this, or like what's new, or what he got coming out, or what he had already, stuff like that. They get to spark them questions. Okay, who is this person? That's what it does right there.
What platforms do you guys use the most?
Instagram.
I'm telling everybody, I ain't gonna
Facebook.
cap to you. TikTok got it. TikTok is what got it. If you really wanna, build a really mainstream
doing
media
the challenges. You got the challenge on your page.
Nah, I ain't doing no challenges, nothing like that. But I do a lot of
Dances is
promo.
crazy on TikTok.
TikTok promo is very, like, man, it's out there. TikTok can get you 1,400 views quick and within like 30 seconds, just based off what time you post. You see what I'm saying? So like you said, you get a calendar, you get you a consistent playing out with dates and stuff like that. And certain social medias or platforms can definitely blow you real quick, blow up real quick. Pause
you
on
have
that.
to sometimes
different
pay
app.
for that.
Pause
though.
on that.
No diddy.
Yo.
Don't ask me like that though. That's just a different
I'm
app.
done with that. No, most definitely dope. But yeah, the social media could definitely boost your network, your networking. Most definitely.
So, I don't know. I think I use them all. I can't say one more than the other. But I think the one that I use the least, that I want to step my game up in, is LinkedIn.
LinkedIn?
No cap. LinkedIn.
I think I know what you're talking
All the
about.
business gets done on LinkedIn. Like, everybody that wants to look cute, eat ice cream, go on vacations on Instagram, right? But the people that are professionals, making decisions, contracts, sponsors, the business is on LinkedIn. That's why they're on there. And they have all their professional stuff, all their affiliations. You can learn a lot.
Yeah, because
and
most
that
of the
is
time,
where you go.
all that's for personal. Like YouTube, that's for people that already know you. Instagram for people that already know you, and if you pushing out for newer presence. But I feel like TikTok is basically free push me out there card, because it's the way that they algorithm work. If you pay attention to TikTok algorithm, it's perfect for promotion. It's definitely perfect for promo because of how fast eyes get on it. You see what I'm saying? How fast I could get on it. I could drop a video within like 10 seconds.
Are you
and just by
dancing?
nobody.
Look it up.
No dancing. All gaming videos. Look, all gaming videos or
By the time we air this, will you be on there dancing?
No. I don't be dancing on TikTok and none of that.
Lie.
But
Right.
no, you
What's
can
your
go on my
TikTok? We're
TikTok
gonna have
now.
to prove it, man.
Thought Boy Zello. Most
okay.
definitely. They can give me. Y'all know where to get at me on, bro. Mostly on everything. But TikTok definitely boosted real fast because you don't even have to. What I can say is once you get into the more posting and stuff like that, that's what it does. When you're consistent with it, the more you get into the algorithm. Most definitely.
There you go.
Most definitely.
That's a lot of work to begin with.
But
That's
in
a whole
order to
different
get
conversation,
on the algorithms, you have to be consistent and make content. Even bad content can get a lot of plays if it's out there. Like,
no, it's wild how much bad content gets the most views.
it does. It gets a lot of different views.
Because like you said, it's authentic. It's authentic.
That
Most
is
of the
real.
time, the
People
bad
being
is
dumb
authentic.
and
It's
telling
not.
on
You see what I'm
themselves.
saying? It's not.
What about clout chasers? Like, I seen some funny stuff recently I thought was funny. And
They get mighty disrespectful.
Let's hear
they
about
clout.
this.
No, I can't go there. It's just they clout chase. People want to clout chase off your name if they know you, affiliated with you. They try to get some clout off it, and it's funny because it'd be stuff that goes back. Like, what if you met somebody like 3 years ago, right?
One time.
And one time, and they go on like different blogs and stuff, and they said, "Man, Zello, that dude that charted number 30 on iTunes, man, bro, that was my man."
I had somebody do that before.
Right.
I swear. I
Clout
had somebody
chasing,
do that.
right?
Like no BS, not trying to be on like I'm a star, nothing
Well,
like that.
you
But
are
I
a star in
had, but
different
I
people,
had
man.
somebody literally.
There's levels to this game.
Somebody told one of my homies, they like that was hello. Oh yeah, that's my man. That's my man. We got a song coming out. We got this, and I never stepped. I never stepped in the studio.
He didn't
with this
just
person.
say he knew you. He said,
I seen this guy one time,
"Yo,
and
we
we
should have
didn't
hit
even-
him up. And
We didn't
text him
even
for a
make no
feature.
comment.
What's his at? Sinister's gonna hit him right now.
Shit, I don't even know I don't even know who it is. It was a homie of a homie. See, I never had even met him personally. He like, man, I called. Matter of fact, I called my best friend. If I call her right now, I swear to God, I called my best friend. She said, yeah. He say, matter of fact, I do know who it is, but I ain't gonna put his name out there.
Don't put it
I ain't
out.
gonna put his name out there.
Promotion costs.
But
Tell
my
him.
best friend definitely told me, like, man, he said he put you on. He helped you get clout. Like, he rock with you that
yeah.
hard. I'm like, he helped me get clout.
And he ain't got no clout.
Nah.
Those are the funniest people.
Nah, he get a little views here and there, but he didn't give me
Nah.
no clout at
The
all.
ones that got no
I helped
clout.
make you.
They made you. The ones that got no
You
clout.
helped make me a PB&J sandwich
Yo.
from out the cabin.
Those people can help everybody but themselves, they claim. And they'll claim that they put money into you. They'll claim that they
They put
invest
time,
their time, years,
energy,
and all this stuff they claim that they got. But, like, they don't even do that for themselves. So that's
Most
cap.
definitely.
And, like, me, like, if somebody I met, like, a year or two ago, how could you have made us when you met us? We were in television 13 years already.
Most
It was already
definitely.
20 plus awards.
I've been
up.
here longer than
Right.
you've been
People
here.
will do that. It's like somebody saying, man, Zello, man, I made you, like, I had you popping like 10 years ago. You're like, I wasn't even doing music 10 years ago. Right?
That's where it works at though. That's where the clout chasing ends because you
Yes.
gotta start bringing out the facts once they
Yeah.
run out of the way to
people lie,
put
numbers
the facts
don't.
in. Most definitely.
People
Most
lie,
definitely.
numbers don't. You just gotta
Most
look.
definitely, bro.
Go back, do your
You
homework.
need receipts.
And this is a good topic,
I
right?
always come with me.
Nah, it's definitely a good topic because I never thought I'd run across that, especially
What?
at this stage. Like I know I know my worth, but you see what I'm saying. I never thought I'd run across that at that stage. Like
Yeah.
you see what I'm saying. That's crazy. I'm like, wow. But yeah, it's people out there that will try to like bandwagon.
They're
for your
using
stuff.
social media as a launch pad. They're following step 3. But unfortunately, they're vampiring off other people.
Definitely.
But they're using social media. Some people use controversy. They use like the gang stuff, negativity, right? Or just dumb stuff, right?
Like Shawnee B said, shout out Shawnee B. He was number 25 in his city, but he was the only one not
Shawnee.
dissing. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
But he got less. You see what I'm saying? He got
Mr.
less
B.
exposure. You see what I'm saying? He still made the list without asking. You see what I'm saying? None of that. But he got less exposure. He got at the bottom of the list because he's not dissing. He the only one not dissing. It's crazy.
Well,
They
yeah,
like
some
that.
people support that, and I think, we've always been no guns, no violence on Urban Grinding TV for our entire tenure. And that's not common in hip hop and rap, and it's not like we can't talk about it. It's just that we choose not to air stuff like that or share it because number one, there's enough of it already. You don't need to see it on our platform. Number two, like we all have family out here, and that's not something that
Is that what we're all really here for? That's a big question.
What are
Some
we
of
here
them.
for? Tell us what you see. A good time, not a long time. That's what Sinister said.
No, that's their motto. That's why they be in and out like that.
How about? I mean, I think purpose. When I think my life, I think my vision. I always feel like it's a purpose, right? And I think the bigger your purpose and the bigger your vision, ultimately, and John and other people that have been here a long time can testify. The bigger your position in life, you just become of service to other people. Like, you want to be big, you want to be impactful. Like, the bigger your spot, like, the more you're in service.
Depending on the type of person that you are. Some people are greedy.
I guess that's true. I don't know. I always felt like I owe more the bigger I get as it goes.
That's true.
Like,
that's facts.
You become more of service.
Because you got more work to do, and you in more people's lives now. You connected with more people, right? So now they need you. So now you're working. Now you're there.
Look at perfect example. Before we started on the air, Athena, it was like, hey, we need you to shoot a commercial because it came in an hour ago, right? And on the fly, did you kill it or what? Like, we gave you the script.
Who knows?
She did it, right? I'm just saying.
I didn't know.
But what is that? That's being of service, right? So someone that was asked of me, I passed it to her. That's delegation. That's number 2. But, we got it done because you're of service now to more and more events, more people. And so, like, the bigger you are, the more spotlight. I think that's truly what it is if you're not selfish, like you say. If that's not, like, about being selfish. But those people, they burn themselves out eventually. It comes up.
They longevity run out real fast.
Right. No stamina. So when we roll into segment 4 here, it's really about the power of networking.
That's big.
Talk to me
everything
about
on this
networking.
list is big. Networking is big to step in the room and get your name out there, get to networking with everybody. Because I was one of the ones that didn't understand that at first, but now I do understand because I didn't got.
What do you mean? Now break it down to him. You didn't understand what?
The power of networking. So basically,
what
I didn't
were you
understand.
not doing before, and what are you doing now?
I would go to a show, perform. Before I even perform, I would not speak to anybody, not go up, shake no hands, not introduce myself to nobody. And
he was the observer in the back corner of the room.
And let alone, you can be shy.
You can about his business.
You can be shy, understandable. But when you get out in these environments, you need to let all that go.
Industry.
You see it, right? That's what I'm saying. But that's what I'm saying. When they get out in these environments, you got to know what you're doing for your business. It's your brand. So I didn't know that when I walk through these doors and I walk out these doors without, speaking or giving out my brand, I'm basically leaving with nothing. I'm not that
leaving money on the table.
Yeah, that's leaving money on the table. You need to be able to walk in these places, get your name out there, perform also, and still stay and get your name out there a little bit more. Hey, shake some hands, get some numbers, talk to some people, and they be willing to want to help. Most people really want to help, and they be in a big position to help. They just want the people to be able to come to them and be able to embrace them. Yeah, most definitely.
In the industry.
Most definitely.
So that was step 1, is attend industry events. And I touched on both virtual and in person. That's step 1. Virtual and in person. I'm doing a speech next week. Shout out to Daryl Haas from the Indie Week. We were at that we met at the Midwest Music Expo. He has me attending. I'm doing a speech. It's online. It's a music seminar, but it's online, and so all the speakers are online. It allows people from all over the country to connect. Now, if we didn't meet him, we didn't say, hey, sir, we love your story. We love to feature you and interview you. We didn't follow up and make that impression, be consistent. We didn't tell him, hey, Daryl, we had a bad day. I don't know how your interview is going to turn out because John ate too much ice cream tonight. He didn't feel like editing, right? We came through and did it. So he saw and his people reached out to us. No, just as an example because John edited the show.
No, that's the phrase now. You John'd it.
Yeah, he John'd it.
You John'd it.
But it's a virtual event, and that's a great opportunity to network. There are more and more common virtual events, so like going out and doing it. And you got to be prepared to introduce yourself. Chicago PD was here earlier, not the cops, but the show. They were looking at the facility.
The cops were looking for him, guys.
About renting the studio and the business for the TV show. And they came yesterday, and then they came today. And then when they introduced me to the people, I had my card right in my pocket, like I already was ready in case I meet somebody. Now, that's a unique thing, right? But it might be an artist, it might be a producer, someone else. Always be ready to introduce yourself and be able to give them a card or something where you can connect. Get their info. If you don't have a card, what I would do is I'd be like, if I run out, if I didn't have them on me, I'm like, hey, what's your number? Let me get it. And I would text them right there. That's when text me back. So at least I had the numbers, because you're at an event, you're on the fly, right? You don't have time to punch in.
Trying to get on the move.
Yeah, you got to get their info and keep it going. So being able to introduce yourself, like you said, not standing in the corner. A lot of artists do that. They come in, they're hot shot, they do their show and they leave. Yeah. And then eventually that buzz wears off, or it's not as hot, and all those people that skipped over are working now.
They didn't create the relationships they needed to boost their
and you don't support nobody else. How do you expect to be supported if you ain't supporting others, right? Step 2 is using the social media like LinkedIn. Again, that's a big one. Instagram and Twitter to connect with industry professionals. And one of the tips is engage with their content before reaching out. Right. If the first time they're talking to you and you're asking them for something, you haven't shared, you haven't been engaging with them, they're gonna look at you like everybody else, because they're probably getting a lot of those requests. Yeah. So be realistic.
Know who you need.
Like, hey, you know what? You support me. That's cool. You know, let me check out your stuff.
It's like you don't go buy a pair of Jordans because you just buy a pair of Jordans. You know who Jordan is. You know the legacy he brings behind it. So you should do the same with the people you're trying to network with. You need to know these things. They can help boost your career or what you're trying to do to the next level. It's by creating that relationship. Definitely.
Right. So that was step 3, was when you reach out, offer value by sharing their work, contributing to a project. I was telling you off air that there was a festival that we reached out to. We wanted media coverage for. They hit us back. We said, hey, we want to interview some artists there. They hit us back and say, hey, we'd give you some tickets, no problem. Would you mind sharing the event for us on your social media? So that's value for value. And I don't know those people, right? So because they looked at our platforms, our website, and they saw like, hey, this aligns with our brand, this is professional, then they hit us back and say, okay, could you do something for us? So, you know, I brought it up a level higher. I said, give us more passes and we'll throw your spots on the spots on TV, on the show. So now we're creating more value because we have a bigger request. You know, it's just like, hey, I got 3 of my homies, I want to bring in 5. What value are you going to bring? Or I want to get a 15-minute set instead of an 8-minute set. Well, why would I give you 15 minutes of my set time? Well, because if you do, I'm going to have an extra 40 people come buy tickets and come through and support the event. So then you're like, you have to weigh and say, okay, then this makes sense.
They can't turn that down.
Right.
Extra 40 tickets on the stock just for...
People cap. So maybe if you have some pre-sales...
You got to be consistent. With the
Well, we were just talking about receipts.
Receipts.
They say you do it. You
gotta have proof you could do that. Yeah, most definitely.
I've had people lie to me and say they can do it, and they sold out big venues, and then I collabed with them here in Chicago. I'm not gonna say no name. And it just didn't happen.
It was probably not because they couldn't do it, but because they didn't stay consistent.
Exactly. They could do it, but then think about when you're working for you and it's all your money is different.
Right.
Yeah.
But once you're like, all right, I gotta break it down, we gotta split it 3 ways, then they may not be as motivated. I don't know. Maybe the guy had a bad couple of months or something. One of the things is now creating relationships. I've been doing over 22 years is, a lot of people. One thing that I could be better at, and that I work on from time to time, is following up with those people, nurturing the relationships. Man, you meet so many people and just hitting them up, checking their social media, see if they got something going on. Hey, hitting them up, send them a message. Hey, what do you got coming up? Because then they'll bring you in on stuff. Oh, I need some models. I need an artist. We want coverage.
Right.
Because you checked in on them and they're busy, right? We got tunnel vision. So nurturing those relationships are really big, just following up with people. And it's hard, but through social media, it's pretty fast.
Right.
Yeah, it's easy.
It's easy to be consistent with those relationships when you're able to go ahead and text.
It's 50
Everybody
ways
says
to get to a
oh,
person.
I'm busy and stuff like that, but you really make time for the things that matter most to you. I'm not gonna lie to you. We have the most busiest schedules as people in the entertainment industry and the people in the industry in general, but we still seem to go ahead and be able to pull out our phone for 5 seconds and text back who we want to text back. Let's be honest. So if you can go ahead and prioritize your business, and you can go ahead and prioritize what you want to do and what's important to you, and the aspects of those like connections being important for you to build, then it'll come to you.
So one of the things that I wanted to give away about a pro tip, John's telling, we're on 4, but there's 2 more segments, Johnny. One of the pro tips is don't just network with people that are bigger than you, like people that are above you. Learn to network and build a relationship with your peers.
Right.
Because those people that are your peers, they're probably going to be more, you'll have a better chance of creating opportunities with them because you have a lot of peers. Oh, I got a show, or you'll see them at an event, you'll see them at a show. Hey, could you put me on with the promoter? How do I get in tune? You know, they're going to connect with you more because they're your peers.
Right.
Because if all you're chasing is the big deals, they may give you like what you want one time and then not mess with you, right? It's not guaranteed. And then guess what happens? Your peers, they grow up and they become legends. They grow up and become big artists and entertainers and producers and models. So if you built with them and that person look at you, say, you know what, Athena, you treated me real good when I met you and we were both on the grind and we were coming up. Man, Zello, I remember you let me open up at your show one time. You rock, you treated me good when I saw you. You know what, I got an opportunity for you. And those relationships and those decisions, exactly what I'm talking about, have paid me dividends in the last 2 decades.
Yeah.
And the ones that I cut off and I no longer serve it, I really ain't missing nothing because guess what, I've been there and done that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
I have a hard time letting go, but the thing you
Not
need to know
me.
in the industry is how to let go. You need to learn how to let go in the industry. It's like of those like people you thought were gonna be good for you, those like connections you thought you made that were like so important. Understand that you're gonna make more connections with the more you network.
Yes.
No, those
it's
people,
like a Band-Aid, tear it off.
Yeah, definitely. That one network you thought was gonna be the network that blew you up, or that one agency you were really like backing on, you know.
Shots fired.
No, ain't no shots fired. It's being for real. You know, that one agency you were backing on and stuff like that for it to fall through or whatever. You know, understand that there's more opportunities within the industry for you to make, and it's all on timing.
And forget those people that you're rocking with because.
And then when you do make it, and then they come to you looking to work with you, you can tell them what they told you. You know.
You know what? Hold on. I've had quite a few people that I don't.
Be transparent.
I don't.
Don't
You know
be
what?
honest.
I don't play no games. I don't play no games. I'm not easy to fool. So there's a lot of people I'm quick to cut off, and those people I'm never mad at them. In fact, I'm usually thankful when I run into them. I'll be happy to see them. If they taught me a valuable lesson, I more than often thank them.
Because you're weird like that.
I am crazy like that. Well, hold on. I had an old barber.
No, I said weird. He said crazy, guys. Are we going to
I'm
like,
weird.
dismiss that?
Okay, so I had an old barber that I went to, so he'll remain nameless. And he's cut my hair for like a year or 2.
Shots fired.
I get my hair cut every week, so it's a personal relationship. Sinister knows what I'm talking about. So we had a falling out. It was just a guy being like late and flaky and just playing with my time. That's all it was. He had great haircuts, but he played with my time. He didn't respect my time like I respected his. So I left. And when I left, guess who I met?
Your new barber.
Ismael Rosa was also my barber. So that guy like changed my life. When I had the label 1913 Records, I got into television because the director and the film people we were working with were real flaky, and they were really inconsistent and dishonest, and they would not respect my time and my passion, because no matter how much money you spend on something or invest, it's important to you. And because they didn't respect what I did it myself. And that's why I started UrbanGrindTV, because I saw people doing stuff that I didn't agree with, and I got personally treated as a client, and I was like, nah, I'm not doing it. So number one, it was just creating an outlet so I didn't have to deal with it, right? And then so other people don't have to deal with BS. When we won our like 10th or 12th award, I think we're like 27 now. When we won our 10th or 12th award, I came home, I was drinking a little bit. I called Buddy, and I called him up, and he answered, and I said, hey man, I just want to thank you. I just won my 10th award with the TV show and all this stuff. He goes, thank me for what? I said, I want to thank you for being you, because if you weren't you, I wouldn't be me today. Because you did some funny stuff, and I chose to move away from you, I started my own Urban Grind TV. I started my own outlet.
What a respectful diss.
It is amazing and it's freeing.
What a more respectful, honest
It's
way
an
of
honest.
saying.
I
would have been transparent as hell and be like, you were flaky as hell, and guess the fuck what I glowed up.
No,
geez.
but that's just being mature. And you know, it's not rough.
That's
I
an
guess
Aries
it's
for you.
it.
That's what
That's
it
an
is.
Aries.
I grew up, motherfucker.
I'm a Scorpio.
Now
so
you can't come
that's
back.
all right. I'm a Scorpio.
Appreciate you for being a snake.
But that's the truth. No, I honestly thank them, and I've done this. I did it with the barber. I did it with the old director that we started Urban Grind. A few people, and I'll thank them because those situations, although they hurt, they allow me to grow. And once you can grow from something and you learn, they hurt, and you can learn from it, you become like stronger. Your skin becomes a little thicker. You know, your knuckle, your bone mass, it becomes stronger. So those are opportunities to grow. And I used to get upset with people. I don't. But now I just thank them for being them. And because that allows me to be me and be the bigger person.
That's big right there.
Yeah.
Who'll be the bigger
That's
person?
big. Aries don't be the bigger
Aries don't be.
person.
So like segment
Be
5.
the more transparent person. Be the more
Here we
honest
go.
person.
Be honest. Consistency and perseverance. Why does consistency matter, Zella? What do you think?
It's gonna show that you're about your work. Consistency showing you the stability of what you can handle, what you can do, and what you're gonna keep bringing to the table. Like it's not gonna change.
Right. And how do you feel about setting small goals? You know, like do you set like huge goals? You set
Huge goals are actually very long-term goals are very overwhelming. I set short-term goals a lot, smaller goals a lot that I feel like I can accomplish on more of like a weekly or like a monthly basis. Kind of just for like my own type of sanity and like esteem boost, because if we keep on setting like these high-end goals that take like 5 years to meet, you know, along the line, if we're not setting short-term goals that we're actually meeting and excelling in, we're gonna be discouraged to actually continue to persist that long.
small steps.
That's the chip at it method. I like
Right,
that.
small steps.
Yeah.
Instead of huge leaps, like small steps. When you take a lot of small steps, you're able to look back.
The
and
big
see,
thing
like,
about that is you can definitely take them little steps and involve them into what your big goal is.
yes, you'll get there. Slow motion is better than no motion, right? So when he talks about why consistency and perseverance matters, step 3 was something I asked you earlier, Zella, was what's your most popular platform? And you would know that not by your opinion, but by the analytics. So step 3 is use your analytics on Spotify, use it on Instagram, look at your progress and your strategy. When Athena first jumped in the Instagram and she was working with, she hit me. She's like, hey, 3 to 5, right? 3 to 5, there's a spike. These are good times, like to post where you got more engagement. And so it's
Everybody's
looking
getting
at
out of
that.
work.
That's a good point. So like looking at those things and then implementing a plan where say, you know what, I'm gonna launch between 3 and 5 because this is when I see we get the most traffic. Right.
I post at 6 a.m. By the time I actually get up to look at that bitch, I have like 100 or I have like 60 likes or 100 likes and like 2, 3, 5 comments or whatever the case may be. And by the time I go back in there again towards the end of the day when everybody's leaving work, I have another 100.
Right. So your analytics tell you. They tell you your platforms. They'll tell you where you're not reaching people. You know, so you can always work on your strengths.
Which followers are actively on at the moments that you're on at the same time?
Yes. And step 4 was what we talked about, was celebrate small wins. Pat yourself on the back, you got the album out. Celebrate that you knocked out the EP, that you got the logo done, that you completed this thing. Don't always wait for
that
the
you
end.
did your laundry, that you cleaned your room.
I'm like Kobe.
Well,
It
Celebrate
could be,
You know
it could be
what?
something as small as that too.
The
Yes,
older
guys,
I
yes.
get,
Don't demean those. Don't
the
demean
more I
those.
realize though,
I'm like
Those
Kobe.
are small wins
Job
that are
not
very
done.
the
important
more I
for the brain.
realize, honestly, it's about
it's
the
important.
journey
It's definitely
and
important.
not the destination.
Yes.
Because the
definitely
journey
important.
makes you who you are when you get there. And I used to be like end thinking for so long, it wasn't enjoyable. Now if you think about the journey and who you become by this process and through this journey, it's so much more valuable. Do Do you agree?
No, yeah, most definitely, because in the end game, you done. It's like you got what you wanted now. And most people, humans, when we get satisfied, we want something else. So it's not, you're never gonna be fully satisfied. So it's the journey that keeps you, that's the bigger picture overall in it, because it's like what you went through to get to this spot. It's like now you here.
Now you start to value it more.
Yeah, you definitely value
start
it
to
more.
value it more.
Because if it take more work ethic and power to get to it, you feel more prideful in it. You feel like you really done something.
Work
Right,
for it.
right,
Most
right.
definitely.
Work for it. I had a thing about like resilience, and you look at different people. Like you could say like a Kanye West, who was getting on early in his career, was like Rockefeller, like was there, and he gets in a car accident. He gets his jaw wired shut. They wired the man's jaw shut. But what does he do? He makes Through the Wire. One of his like first standout hits.
His hardest hits,
Right.
bro.
With his jaw wired
Gruesome.
shut.
Yeah,
Yes.
definitely.
Think
Through the
about
Wire,
that. Like
yeah.
anybody else, other people would have
Through the
gave
Wire,
up
he
and
snapped.
they would have said, you know what, I can't do it. Or they would have every excuse and every reason to not justify their dreams. You know what, look what happened to me, I can't do it. Or they'll blame other people. I see a lot of grown men and women blaming other people for their life and their position and their problems. But it's not. So I just see somebody like that took an opportunity, that was jacked up, had his jaw wired shut, trying to get next to like big, like Jay-Z and big people, to being a billionaire.
That's persistency right there.
To being a billionaire.
Yeah.
But it all started at one time. What if you didn't go to that casting? What if you didn't go out to that event and network? What if you didn't drop that album? What if you didn't record that song?
Yeah.
You'll never know. And when you're old and when you're dying and you're on your deathbed, and you're young and dying,
Wow.
you're never gonna say,
dark
oh, I
fast.
wish I wish I didn't do that. You're gonna
Right,
be like,
that
I'm glad I did
Yeah,
that.
most definitely, because I feel like you're.
I tried it, it worked out, or I tried it, it failed. It is what it is.
Definitely, I really think that. Yeah. That's tight.
Try it.
Most definitely.
My grandfather told me when I was a kid, my grandpa Smokey said, do something even if it's wrong. And do something even if it's wrong. And, there's two ways you could look at it. You could say, oh, if it's wrong morally or it's illegal. No, it's
I
not
definitely
that.
get what he's saying.
You don't know what you're doing, just do it.
No,
Try.
I don't. I need it specified. Is it like
Do
morally
something.
wrong?
I don't know how to do it.
it's-
Legally
it's
wrong?
That's like
try.
saying like cook.
Just keep trying.
I don't. If I say I don't know how to cook, just do it. Even if it's wrong. Even if you know, like, man, I'm gonna burn it the first time. It may not taste as good. I may not like get the timing right, but I'm still gonna do it.
Right.
Because if you do it enough times, you become that.
They say practice make perfect.
Practice
There you go
makes
right there.
perfect.
There you go right there.
So this was a great show. I got some conclusions, some takeaways, some key points. Here is develop a distinctive sound, something that's gonna set you apart, just like a look, right? Just develop a distinctive look, something that's gonna set you
Do I
apart
have a
from all.
distinctive look?
Yeah, I think you do. I think you've got like a Taino look, like a good native look from like the island.
Nice.
Yeah,
Appreciate
yeah.
it.
You got a good organic, and you got a good
Start the island
like
girls.
fashion
sure.
and catwalk style. Because I learned that there's different models, right?
Right.
Different modeling styles.
Yeah.
And you've got a good catwalk. I seen you at the CMAs, which is running
Oh, yeah, you
tonight.
teaching
Chicago
well,
Music
too.
Awards.
Teach
Yeah,
it
I
well,
seen
too.
you
I
teach
seen
a
you
girl
teach
at the video.
Yeah, at the video shoot.
Like
on
the spot, I seen you teach a woman how to
Most
like
definitely.
walk for the catwalk and for the video, and it was very organic. It was very natural. You could tell you have it, and maybe you were born with it, maybe you polished it, but you were gracious enough to teach other people.
Thank you
So
guys.
you got a good look and a good sound, and that's important. That's part of your branding, right? That's part of your branding. So that other model or that other person may see you later on and say, you know what, man, I remember you helped me out.
Yep.
I got a show.
Forever
You
remember
want to
that.
get booked? Right. Like, oh, I got an opportunity. You know who's cool? She put me on. Because I remember, just like we remember people that did us wrong, we remember people that
do you right. Most
treat
definitely.
you good, right?
Yeah.
So I have a saying, if you treat me good, I treat you great. And that's truly how I feel. So I think that's just so important. Build and promote your personal brand authentically. Do something that you don't have to be out of body to do it, that does not come naturally. If it don't come naturally, you're not going to be able to keep it up. If you can't keep it up,
Right.
then
Do
you're
something you
fake.
can have fun with.
Have fun.
That's definitely what it is at the end of the day. Do something you can have fun with. Don't take it too seriously, because when you're doing this, you gotta build those personal connections, them personal relationships, and they want to know you for you. So once you keep it more authentic and you build your promo through, the basis of you having fun, I think that'll be the easiest way for you to put yourself out there without
that'll
trying
be
to
the easiest way for you to involve your media on that show and like promote yourself on that level.
People can feel it. They can feel when you're being authentic, when you're being you.
Yeah,
definitely.
And that doesn't mean you're going to be in a good mood, or that doesn't mean it's going to be great. People can connect with you during hard times. Just have an understanding.
That's why you don't hide it. That's why you be honest.
Yeah, but I said in a job interview. That's a different. I said if you're going to a casting, are you going to tell them? My boss going,
no, hey.
What if you got like the bubble guts or something?
I'm not having a good day today. I'm going to go get some coffee and some donuts to cheer me up.
You ain't got the job yet.
Too?
No.
Like that's the type of employee I am. You feel me? Like,
but you're not hired yet. That was the point. If it was something meeting and you would possibly. All right, we'll go back to it. Leverage social media to grow and engage your audience. So if you got the people, if you got followers, you got to give them stuff to engage with them, right? You got to give them stuff to like, definitely. Why are they going to follow you? Like, how are they going to remember you from the 50 other artists they follow?
Yep, that goes right into with the being authentic. You using your social media to grow and engage with your audience. When you're being authentic, they're gonna trickle in more because they can feel like they know you. It's personal. Yeah. It's on a personal level. So that's what it is. That's how you using your media as leverage. You putting yourself out there, and they're trickling into with the comments, and most definitely they gonna definitely say some things that you might not like, but you might not like
it because you're out there. If you put yourself out there, you're subject to public scrutiny, and that's just what it is, right? So network strategically to build meaningful relationships, right? Meaningful relationships. Like people, I have people I run into all the time. They're happy to see me because we've had a great interaction.
Are they happy or are they faking that they're happy? Well,
no, it's a genuine. You know why? Because we've built relationships and we've done things for each other.
Talking about you're a pretty messed up person.
We're not talking about
I am.
They're faking
because look, we're not talking about the homie that you smoke with every day.
Not that guy.
You see what I'm saying? We ain't talking about that guy. We talking about a guy that got the same drive as you in the same industry with connections as well as you got the connections to be able to collab together. Once you collab together, that's doing something. Not the guy that you hang out with all the time that's gonna tell you, yeah, that's perfect. I'm talking about the guy that has his own business ideas with your business ideas.
No names.
Definitely. It took a minute. It took a minute because I had to learn that too. I had to learn to distinctively pick out the people that's good for the business side and not good for the business side. The good relationships to have and the bad relationships to have. Some of the people just fake the business and don't actually do the business.
Why do you have to touch something? Mira,
that was
messed up.
Chacho. Definitely. All right, man. So make sure you put your strategies into practice.
Everybody just touching everything. John touched my phone earlier.
I thought John set it up right. I don't know.
No, John touched my phone earlier and dropped it. Boom.
Mike failure.
Sinister did a great job today.
All right.
You touching the mic.
Make sure they visit us at UrbanGrindTV.com.
Most definitely.
Use some of the advice we gave you today. Try it. It can't hurt. If you're not at the level you want to be at, then you got to try different things. This is great advice. Yeah. It's not the one all be all. It's not expert. This is things that people have tried. They've been consistent with, and it's practical. We wish you guys the best in success, and let us know if it works. If you do something that works, like hit us up, send us a comment, a
DM us.
Yeah,
most definitely.
If it don't work and you think it's crazy,
I am no longer accepting complaints. That has now been shifted over to Zello.
Athena is
comments.
That has now been shifted over. I can't be transparent with you guys. I have to be honest. I don't know what the difference is.
Her comments and opinions do not reflect.
I don't know what the difference is. But
hold on, let me give the disclaimer. Her comments and opinions do not reflect those of Urban Grind TV or her affiliates. All right, we're good. So that's her. Don't send me no That's her complaints. Personal opinion. All
right.
And then coming up next, I'm gonna give people a teaser for the next episode of Behind the Grind. We're gonna delve into networking like a pro and building key relationships. So we're gonna break it down even further, just on how-tos of networking, and just building genuine connections and connections that are gonna propel you. People that are actually gonna push you forward. Not just by like motivation, but to have opportunities where you guys
the meaningful relationships.
Yes, or these relationships where you guys complement each other in business and it works. So Make sure they check us out at UrbanGrindTV.com.
Y'all already know.
And Urban Grind TV on all social media. Where can they find you at?
You already know it's Puerto Rican.creative. You create, I design. Thank you for coming in and tuning in with us again today on Wednesday night. You are here with my two very special co-hosts. Special in a lot of ways. I can't stand y'all, man. You already know.
Y'all already know what it is. It's Thought Boy Zello, aka SMG Zello, the Talk A Lot artist. Get up with me with anything on social media. Thought Boy Zello, TV_Zello on IG, Thought Boy Zello on TikTok. You feel me? It's Thought Boy Zello everything. Y'all already know.
This is Urban Grind TV, behind the grind, breaking barriers. We'll see you next time.